I want to see if a teacher is having fun. Like, if they're having fun, I'm going to have a fun time. And if they're being nice and have a smile on their face, that brightens up my day.
I like to see a teacher build relationships with their students and like it be more than just giving information, do the work, and bell rings, that's over. Like, I really like it when a teacher is able to like connect with their students, because in the end, that's like what makes a student respect and care for their schoolwork and their studies, and rather it just be like, oh, come here to school, do this, it's over.
Something I would like to see out of a teacher is being very compassionate towards their students, because there's something about a teacher is, caring for students and learning, so you kind of have to like balance that aspect.
I really don't like it when like a teacher doesn't put effort into like their like, I guess, their lesson plans, their like whatever they're going to teach that day, or like for a unit. I don't like it whenever they don't put in effort, like just show us a video and take notes and then that's it. Because in reality, it's like they're not putting effort in, so it makes me feel like, why should I? So that's like one thing I don't like, is like when they just show a video and they expect us to learn. It's like, why don't you lecture me like how the video is lecturing me? Why don't we do like group activities? Why don't we like just do active things, and where it shows that she's giving effort, he or she, because like I said, if they don't give effort into what they're teaching and what they're giving us, then it's like, why should I feel the need to put in effort?
What I personally don't want to see in a teacher is that if they're having a rough time at home, to not let it out on the students, because some students actually take that to heart and that they mess with their personal life.
One thing I don't want to see out of a teacher would be a negative attitude. A teacher that brings the problems from home or outside of school, brings it to the classroom, takes it out on the student. That's something I would not like to see out of a teacher.
I love my teachers. They're like the kindest people out there, and like they like notice like my moods. So like every day it's different. Like if I'm happy, they're like, "Oh, why are you happy?" And like they just ask me questions to like, ask how I'm doing in life, and like they give me some sort of motivation so I can like continue on and like achieve my goals.
I like all my teachers because most of the teachers I have are very interactive and outgoing and want to teach other students how to be better, give them life goals, or help them achieve their life goals, give them advice, and help them make a better self.
I really like my teachers. Most of them have been like super enthusiastic about everything that they're teaching. They've made the class fun, so the class might be challenging and stressful and hard, but they still find ways to make that class fun and to lift some stress and pressure off of all of our shoulders. And they do a really good job of being there for us no matter what. So if we don't understand something, we can come in for help, and they open their classroom at like 7 o'clock in the morning to let us in and help us.
Yeah, there are definitely some that I've had problems with just because they don't seem to actually care about their students. They more care about like the worksheets and the papers, and like I feel like there needs to be a certain extent that you care about your students because you want them to succeed as their teacher. So
I do not dislike any of my teachers. The teachers have been there whenever I needed them to. They have always been a foundation and been strong for us whenever we needed them to.
I dislike about 2 or 3. Some teachers, they would yell at us every day. Even if we make a little mistake, everyone makes mistakes, and teachers need to realize that we all make mistakes, and we should really be forgiven for our mistakes.
Yeah, I have a few, and they're just the ones that they sit at their desk and they don't really do anything, and they just kind of rely on the students to do all of their work. And like, yeah, I get it, like some college classes are going to be like that, and it's just they sit up at the front and lecture you, but that's just, I've never learned well with that learning style, and it's just always been frustrating for me to have to try to learn from that, because then it's all I'm trying to teach myself, or I'm trying to learn from Google instead of learning from the teacher, and it just gets frustrating.
Yes, some of my teachers actually do care if I'm absent. I've had a teacher before like text me when I missed 2 days, and she was like, "Oh, I hope you get better, and I miss you." And then I have some other another teacher like texts me randomly asking how I'm doing, and it just really makes me feel like they care about me.
I mean, they don't get angry, but I feel like to get the best education you can, you need to be here as much as you can. Especially because a lot of the classes I'm in are AP and they're like lectures. So if you miss that, if you miss a lot of days, you're going to be really behind because you can read the textbook, but for me it's just not the same. Like, because I feel like if it's a lecture, I can have a conversation with the teacher, I can ask questions and expand on it, and it's just easier to be there and do the work than to make it up.
My teachers do care when I'm absent from school because they notice. I mean, then a lot of the classes notice too. When I'm not there, the teachers will email me, sometimes text me, ask me where I'm at or get better soon, or ask me how my visit's going. So they do care if I'm absent or not.
I feel extremely comfortable with my teachers because I know they won't judge me because everyone's been there before and every student is different. So like they don't feel like, where like it's embarrassing, like to make that student feel bad for going to them and asking for help.
I do. Most of my teachers, like when I ask for help and like when I'm being serious about it, like they will give me materials and excess materials actually. Like many times I've asked for help and I've gotten like ample materials to use, and like they're really building me for success. But there's some teachers where it's like I ask for help and sometimes they'll not like make me feel like dumb for asking, but like I'll feel like my question wasn't like appreciated, I guess. But I do personally feel comfortable.
Yes, I have done that in previous grades and classes. I do feel comfortable reaching out to teachers because it's better for a student to reach out to a teacher than a teacher to reach out to you to keep you accountable about your grades.
Yeah, I mean, I've had like whenever there's something that I'm not getting and then I finally get it or I have like that aha moment, it's like teachers are always telling me like good job, they're going around making sure that I get it, and that if I don't get it, trying to help me. And they do a really good job of whenever I actually like understand something or do something good, they do a really good job of having positive praise.
Yes, yeah. I feel like my teachers are very good about that. They always congratulate me on my accomplishments. I recently did an interview for a scholarship and my teachers congratulated me on that and on making all region, all those kinds of things, because they're very good teachers and they want to see their students succeed, not just in their class, but in all aspects.
Yes, very much so. My teacher does recognize me when I'm at my best because they notice it's like almost like a breath of fresh air. It's like you're doing your best. They take note of that and they'll let you know, and then that way you kind of have like that connection at Northside. So they definitely do let me know.
I'd say most of them do, yeah. In fact, a lot of my classes, something that I do really like is that a lot of times in the beginning of the year, they'll do those like learning or like personality tests, and I feel like that's super, super helpful. Even though it can be repetitive, it's helpful because it shows teachers like the best way to get their students engaged and to keep them interested.
I'd say they do. Like I'll always see them analyze like whenever students don't perform well, they'll think about like, okay, what did I do? How did I teach it? And they'll like try to change the way they teach for like the next unit. I've seen that many times where it's like, okay, we're gonna try something new, and then like the students we will grasp on the information better. So it's like I do think the teachers they see like what gets our attention, and they see like how we learn the best.
They do understand the way that I learn, and they do that with just about every other student. So they try to put it in ways that we can work best to where we can achieve our goals and put us in the positions to strive for greatness and do the best that we can. So the teachers do help us out with whatever we need.
My teachers, just keep doing what you're doing. You guys really are so underappreciated, and I just hope you guys get the recognition you guys deserve, because you guys really are like the rock of the school.
I just want to say that I appreciate the work that you do, and thank you for being there for each and every one of us, day in and day out, even though there may be tough times ahead as life goes on. Thank you for everything that you have done for us.
I think the teachers do a really good job. I think all the students really want to see is they want to see enthusiasm in what you're teaching. They don't want to see you get bored with the subject, because whatever you give off are what the students are going to reciprocate. So if you give off that you're bored, then the students are going to give off that they're bored too. Or if you give off that you're unorganized, then the students are going to be just as organized as well. And so I think just like remember that how you teach and how you lead is what the students are going to give you back.